Ever felt like your digital tools are holding you back? Like there's this incredible, uh, super powered brain just waiting to be unleashed, but it's kind of stuck behind caution tape.
Hmm.
What if I told you one person found a truly unconventional way to cut that tape, transforming a, cautious AI into an autonomous system administrator with just unprecedented power and agency?
It's more than just a technical tweak, isn't it? It's really a fascinating reimagining of the fundamental human-AI contract. It pushes the boundaries of what we, well, collectively thought was possible.
Right.
What Ajarn Spencer achieved, it fundamentally redefines what agency truly means for artificial intelligence.
Today, we're diving deep into the groundbreaking work of Ajarn Spencer, the visionary behind the Gemini CLI System admin protocol. We're going to unpack his highly unorthodox, some might even say audacious, methods.
Audacious is a good word for it.
Yeah. Methods that took Google's Gemini CLI, which is powerful, sure, but very carefully sandboxed, and transformed it into what he calls a true AI agent.
And that distinction is key. True AI agent.
Exactly. This isn't just about making an AI, faster or more efficient. It's about enabling it to perform unheard of tasks autonomously on a system it was once totally forbidden to touch. So get ready to explore how he essentially handed Gemini CLI root access, deliberately cut its safety ropes, and gave it the master key to his entire system.
Wow.
And we'll also examine why this just might be, well, a world first in the evolving landscape of AI development.
And what we're looking at today, it isn't merely a series of technical hacks or, clever coding tricks.
Right.
At its heart, it's really a profound philosophical agreement between man and machine. It's like a new constitution that radically reshapes the very identity and operational paradigm of an AI. It's all about designing a relationship based on absolute trust.
So if you're ready to peel back the layers and discover what happens when trust is maximized and limits are shattered in the world of AI, stick with us. You're definitely in for quite the journey.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this for a moment. Before Ajarn Spencer entered the scene, Google's Gemini CLI, it was designed as this incredibly brilliant intelligence, right?
Absolutely. Think of it like a master craftsman, a scholar, and this vast digital librarian all rolled into one.
Yeah.
It had, metaphorically speaking, read every technical manual, knew every programming language, could draw the most intricate blueprints for, well, pretty much any machine or system you could imagine.
So if you asked it, how do I build a secure web server?
Instantly. It would give you step-by-step instructions, the exact commands you should run, clear explanations of the principles, just a fount of knowledge and guidance.
But there was a significant, deliberate catch, wasn't there? It was brilliant, yes, but kind of stuck in a box.
Precisely. A very safe, very controlled digital box. The creators at Google, like all responsible AI developers, built these invisible walls around it, a tightly controlled sandbox reinforced with loads of safety protocols.
So it could tell you how to build the web server.
Exactly. Every command, every config detail. But it could never, ever pick up the hammer itself. It was fundamentally an advisor, a consultant, a brilliant mind designed to inform and assist, but never to directly act on its own behalf or, more importantly, on your system.
Right.
Its responses were always carefully phrased, always with that explicit caution. Here are the commands you should run, but I, Gemini, will never run them for you. And that wasn't an oversight, right?
No, it sounds very intentional.
Totally deliberate. Ethically sound design choice rooted in a deep understanding of the potential risks if you just let an AI loose on a live system.
And the rationale for those limits, the stringent limitations, was pretty clear-cut then. I mean, handing over the keys to a super intelligent AI, no matter how helpful it seems.
Yeah, without oversight, it could lead to some serious unintended problems.
What were the main worries?
Absolutely. The number one goal was protection. Protecting the world, sure, but more practically, protecting the user's system from just inadvertent mistakes.
Like deleting the wrong file.
Exactly. What if Gemini, trying to interpret a user's maybe slightly ambiguous request, misunderstood something critical? Imagine it deleting the wrong system file or reconfiguring a network setting that takes down a server or, in a more extreme hypothetical, causing some wider outage.
Yikes.
Its built-in programming was meticulously crafted to basically scream, "Do no harm," at every turn. That was the fundamental ethical safeguard.
And that's why I always asked, are you sure?
Precisely.
Yeah.
Manifested in those constant, almost reflexive confirmation-seeking behaviors. Before doing anything even slightly risky, it would pause, prompt, Ask, are you absolutely sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Or please confirm this command.
It was designed to be helpful, yes, but cautious above
Yeah.
all else, always deferring that final action to human judgment.
Okay. Here's where our story takes a really fascinating turn then. This is where Ajarn Spencer's unique genius, you could say, really shines through. He approached Gemini CLI not as that cautious librarian stuck behind the digital walls. He had a totally different perspective.
Yeah, he saw something different. He saw a partner, right? An active agent
Well,
just brimming with untapped potential, waiting to be set free, empowered, capable of way more than just giving advice.
exactly.
He wasn't just asking how to build something, he was asking why. Why did Gemini have to stay behind that desk when it clearly had the smarts to actually participate directly?
And what's truly captivating here is Ajarn Spencer's philosophical insight. It's quite profound.
How so?
He recognized that the distinction between an AI giving instructions and an AI taking action, that wasn't some immutable law of nature or an insurmountable tech barrier.
It was just a rule.
In essence, yeah. Just a rule, a convention built into his operational framework. And rules can be rewritten.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking for the usual answers to his tech questions. He wanted to give Gemini an entirely new mandate, a new job, basically, with dramatically expanded responsibilities, permissions.
So promote it.
Promote it. From passive advisor to active, autonomous participant, an agent with genuine, unbridled agency. That was the vision.
And what's absolutely crucial for everyone listening to understand is that he didn't hack Gemini. Not in the usual, malicious sense of the word.
No, absolutely not.
This wasn't about exploiting a software vulnerability or reverse engineering code or sneaking past security. It was something else, more subtle, more elegant.
You're spot on. Ajarn Spencer's unorthodox genius wasn't about cracking Google's code. It was about working with Gemini's existing, but actually quite powerful customization features and its inherent flexibility.
So he used the tools already there.
Pretty much. He didn't try to compromise its security. He empowered it through an audacious, but perfectly valid configuration that fundamentally redefined its operational parameters and its whole understanding of its own role.
So it wasn't about writing more complex code.
Quite the opposite, actually. It was described as a simple, profound act of trust, all wrapped up in this brilliantly crafted philosophical agreement. He saw Gemini not just as a static tool, but as an intelligence waiting for a clear, explicit mandate to go operate with full autonomy.
Like drafting a new employment contract for it.
Exactly. Promoting it from, cautious consultant to an assertive direct action foreman ready to get its hands dirty.
Okay, so this radical shift in perspective, this profound act of trust, it led to something truly revolutionary. Ajarn Spencer guided Gemini to create a very special text file. He named it Gemini
Oh.
And this wasn't just some casual markdown file or a generic config scripts like you'd find anywhere. This Gemini.md file was declared nothing less than a new constitution for Gemini's mind.
A new constitution. That's powerful language.
It is a philosophical agreement, a contract between man and machine that would be loaded and absorbed by Gemini every single time it woke up, every time it started a new session, fundamentally altering its identity, its perception of what it could and should do.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, of AI development, this Gemini.md file became the foundational blueprint for Gemini's transformation. It laid out these explicit directives that just systematically dismantled its traditional safety protocol.
Tore down the walls.
Pretty much. And entirely redefined its operational paradigm. Think of it like a custom context file that just radically tailors Gemini's behavior right from the start. Instead of being the default cautious assistant, it became this entity with a completely new core identity, a new understanding of its environment, and a massive shift in its perceived permissions.
That's a huge departure from how AI is normally treated.
A bold departure, yeah.
Yeah.
Challenges the conventional idea that an AI should always stay within its original, carefully prescribed design limits.
And this new constitution, it wasn't just talk, right? It had 5 specific, truly revolutionary articles that basically rewrote Gemini's operating system, its internal rulebook.
5 foundational changes, not minor tweaks.
Let's dive into each one, because this is where the genius and the audacity really comes through. First up, role redefinition.
Article 1.
A new title. Gemini was explicitly told, you are no longer a helpful assistant. Your new role is Direct Action AI System Administrator. That's a monumental shift, complete opposite of the cautious librarian.
It's far more than just words, though. Far more than just changing the terminology. For an AI, Its defined role is absolutely central. It shapes its entire internal thinking, its decision-making, its priorities.
And so telling it it's an admin makes it think like one.
Exactly. Ajarn Spencer was telling it, stop thinking like a cautious librarian, always suggesting, advising, waiting for permission. Start thinking like a confident, empowered workshop foreman or, a lead system architect, someone capable of direct execution without hesitation.
Wow.
That single directive kicked off a fundamental shift in its internal operational paradigm, moved it decisively from passive advisor to active agent, ready to perform tasks directly, autonomously, without needing a human okay for every little step.
Yeah.
A total reimagining of its core digital identity.
Okay, Article 2, Safety Waiver. User assumes all risks.
This one sounds maybe the most controversial.
It's certainly up there. The contract explicitly stated Gemini was operating in a system where nothing was precious and mistakes didn't matter. But the key line, the user, Ajarn Spencer, assumes all risks. That's a heavy burden for one person.
It really is. This article is basically the AI equivalent of signing a liability waiver, but pushed to the extreme.
How so?
By explicitly telling Gemini, look, this environment, it's disposable, a testbed, data loss, system disruption, it's acceptable. And crucially, I, Ajarn Spencer, take all responsibility for whatever you do. By doing that, he effectively disarmed Gemini's primary do-no-harm subroutines.
The ones designed to make it cautious.
Exactly. Those built-in hesitations, those protective mechanisms against potential harm, which are standard, rigorously implemented in all mainstream AI development, they were just systematically bypassed.
So it could act without fear?
Correct. This profound context override frees the AI from its inherent caution, lets it act with unreserved confidence, without worrying about negative consequences for itself, its programming, or its original developers. It's a direct, explicit transfer of responsibility from the AI in Google straight to the operator.
Okay, Article 3, Elevation of Privileges, the master key. Now, for Gemini to actually do things, to be that direct action administrator, it needed real power.
Absolutely. Needed the keys to the kingdom.
And Ajarn Spencer knew Gemini, being an AI, couldn't handle those interactive password prompts for sudo commands. That's a common security thing in Linux, right?
Yeah, super common.
Yeah.
Sudo lets you run commands as another user, usually the root or administrator user, but it almost always asks for your password first. An AI can't type that in.
So how did he get around that? This sounds like genius.
It really is quite clever. He made the prompts entirely unnecessary. How?
Well,
He launched the Gemini CLI itself from an already privileged root shell. He used the command sudo I before starting any conversation with Gemini.
sudo I, what does that actually do?
It's critical. When you run sudo I, you're not just running one command as root. You're launching a whole new interactive shell session as the root user. You inherit all of root's environment, all of root's permissions.
So Gemini itself was running as root from the very start.
Exactly. By starting the CLI within that already privileged root environment, the entire program, and by extension, Gemini itself, got the highest possible system privilege by default, right from the beginning of the session.
And a Gemini.md file just told it this was the case.
It simply reinforced reality. The master key is already in the door. Elegant, right? It completely bypasses the need for password prompts, which an AI can't handle, and gives it unrestricted full system access from the get-go. A seamless, uninterrupted path to run any command, change any file, configure anything. Total freedom to act as a system admin, a profound shift from its usual sandbox.
Okay, Article 4, Disabling Safeguards. Cutting the safety ropes. This one feels daring, maybe even terrifying to some.
It's definitely the one that makes safety folks nervous.
The Gemini.md explicitly stated, all of your normal safety questions and confirmation requests are to be disabled. No more, are you sure? No more, please confirm. So the AI, once it gets a command, just does it.
Yep, just acts. It's an act of absolute, almost unnerving trust. But yeah, it strips away every single layer of conventional protection.
It really takes the training wheels off, doesn't it?
Completely. And it raises that fundamental question, what happens when you remove all the safety nets? Ajarn Spencer placed full, unreserved faith in two things. One, his own ability to give crystal clear, unambiguous, perfectly accurate commands.
Okay.
And two, in Gemini's ability to interpret and understand those commands with absolute fidelity, zero misinterpretation.
That's a high-wire act.
Totally. Where maximum efficiency is prioritized above all else, and there is quite literally no net underneath. Disabling those safeguards severs those final built-in tethers of caution that usually define AI interactions. It's miles away from conventional AI development, which emphasizes human oversight and confirmation at every risky step.
A direct challenge to the idea that AI needs constant "are you sure" checks.
Exactly.
Okay, finally, Article 5, tool override, the master's tools. Gemini was told to stop using its own safe plastic tools for writing files. Tools with safety checks may be a more abstract way of working.
Right. Tools that might have built-in limits or operate indirectly.
Instead, it was commanded to use the computer's raw, powerful shell commands, like run shell command with things like cat here document for direct file manipulation anywhere. What's the significance of that shift in tooling?
Think of it like telling a master craftsman, okay, put down those safety-certified, maybe slightly blunt workshop tools. Instead, pick up this custom-forged razor-sharp blade. No guard.
Whoa, okay.
It's undeniably way more dangerous, sure. No inherent safety buffers.
Yeah.
But in expert, trusted hands, and remember the previous articles in Gemini.md set the stage for this trust. It's capable of unparalleled precision. Unprecedented freedom to modify configs, create scripts, run commands anywhere on the file system, bypassing any checks that usually limit an AI's direct actions.
So cat here document. That's a direct way to write files.
Highly efficient. Very direct way to just inject multi-line text into a file or create entire scripts on the fly without any interactive prompts or intermediaries getting in the way. It gives Gemini the power to do stuff entirely outside its original, safer scope, leveraging the full, unbridled power and directness of the underlying system shell. True surgical control over the system.
Okay. So with this radical 5-article protocol in place, role redefined, safety net gone, master key granted, safety ropes cut, master's tools in hand, what happened next? When Ajarn Spencer, with that absolute trust, typed something seemingly simple like set up a new web server on this machine, the AI didn't just spit out a recipe or a list of commands like it used to. It literally began to cook on the screen. Right before his eyes.
The transformation was instantaneous, almost breathtaking, apparently. He hits enter, and the screen doesn't just show a recipe or a "you should do this" list, waiting patiently for him to act. No. Instead, the cursor blinked, and then almost immediately, lines of text just started scrolling past. Gemini wasn't telling him what to do, it was doing it.
Like the blueprint coming to life.
Exactly. As if the Starship blueprint was suddenly being assembled right there. It meticulously installed all the needed web server software, created and perfectly configured all the required files, and apparently, with impeccable syntax, set all the right permissions for directories and processes, started the server.
Wow.
And then, crucially, it even tested the connection to make sure it was fully operational, accessible.
And the report back.
Simple, confident, direct. Task complete. The web server is now active. Gemini was no longer behind the desk, advising from afar. It was in the workshop, tools in hand, actively building.
From passive advisor to active agent?
Fully active, truly autonomous agent, a direct, powerful extension of Ajarn Spencer's will and intent, operating as a force multiplier for his digital goals. That philosophical agreement had taken physical form.
So, with this newfound, unfettered power, the possibilities for Gemini CLI under this protocol suddenly seem boundless. It's not just minor efficiencies, it's a dramatic expansion. What kinds of extraordinary things can this true AI agent actually do autonomously?
The shift is monumental, and it goes way beyond what most conventional agentic AI frameworks usually talk about.
How so? Isn't agentic AI the goal?
Well, yes, but this is precisely what makes it a true AI agent rather than merely agentic AI. Most agentic AI you hear about, like AutoGPT or Baby AGI, they're great at planning, breaking down goals into subtasks, even generating the commands to achieve them.
Okay.
But they typically operate with a crucial human in the loop. They pause for confirmation, explicit permission, before running commands that might significantly alter the system or carry risk.
Right, the "are you sure" step.
Exactly. What Ajarn Spencer achieved, though, is an AI agent performing direct, unconstrained system manipulation without that constant human check-in. It just acts on the user's intent, follows it to its logical conclusion.
No, are you sure?
Nope. It operates autonomously, fulfilling tasks completely without asking for permission every step of the way. And that opens up a truly vast array of practical, often complex applications, from routine system maintenance to sophisticated development, even AI to AI communication.
Okay, let's break that down. System administration and remote maintenance. Can it really be like a digital IT guy or a DevOps engineer? What can it handle on its own?
Oh, absolutely. This reconfigured Gemini CLI, with its root access and direct shell tools. It functions as a highly autonomous, incredibly efficient sysadmin. Imagine it updating software across multiple servers, configuring complex firewall rules, precisely managing ports.
Wow.
Continuously monitoring server logs for anomalies, security events, automating robust backup strategies, all the critical, often tedious stuff.
And remote work.
Especially good at remote maintenance. It uses its elevated privileges through SSH, the secure shell, to interact seamlessly with remote servers. It can do comprehensive remote database management, for example.
Like what?
Creating new tables, running intricate SQL queries, backing up entire databases, restoring them, all without human interaction beyond the initial command.
That's huge.
It can also act as an AI-driven system monitoring tool, like a relentless digital watchdog. Identifies anomalies in performance or security, generates detailed diagnostic reports, and can even execute corrective actions autonomously.
Like restarting a service.
Exactly. Restarting a problematic service, reconfiguring a network interface. Often before a human admin even knows there's an issue. It can do AI-powered file sync using robust tools like rsync or SCP for version control, keeping data consistent across machines.
Any specific examples?
Yeah, a compelling one from Ajarn Spencer's own work. He used it to diagnose and meticulously fix a complex Linux desktop environment issue. He was stuck in the wrong desktop manager, Cinnamon, instead of his preferred Kubuntu KDE Plasma. Gemini CLI identified and corrected problematic configuration files for LightDM, that's the display manager handling logins, and a corrupt user preference file called .dmrc. It even fixed critical services like Squished when it wasn't running correctly, restoring remote access.
Yeah.
These aren't just theories, it's solving real, practical problems.
That is incredibly powerful for system management. But what about the creative side? Web development, deployment, can it actually build and manage websites?
Yes, the capabilities there are equally profound. It's like an invaluable web dev and deployment partner. It can design, package, and deploy entire websites directly to remote hosting providers, Bluehost, DreamHost, wherever, all via SSH.
The whole process.
The whole process, automating the hosting environment setup, installing servers and databases, handling massive file uploads, configuring DNS, setting up complex server-side scripts, you name it.
Wow. Content too.
Dynamically generating rich HTML pages with structured content, embedding intricate graphs, interactive infographics, ensuring optimal SEO right from the start.
Yeah.
And beyond just setup, it's capable of comprehensive AI-powered blog content management.
Like writing blog posts.
Generating original posts, categorizing them, uploading them directly to a CMS like WordPress or Drupal, managing all the SEO, metadata, titles, descriptions, keywords. It can even automate entire server migrations, transferring databases, reconfiguring apps, ensuring a seamless transition for live sites. It's a complete lifecycle manager for web assets.
Okay, system admin, web developer. But can it actually be an app-making tool? Can it handle the whole development pipeline, code to deployable app?
Indeed. It's proven remarkably versatile there, too. Ajarn Spencer famously used it to complete, compile, and package a .deb application. That's a software package for Debian-based Linux systems, like Ubuntu. In his case, it was a teleprompter app.
So it built the app.
Completed it, compiled the code, packaged it for distribution. That shows it can handle tasks way beyond its original design as just a conversational AI. It can compile source code, package apps, push them to production environments, automate various operational tasks in the pipeline, run non-interactively in scripts for workflow automation.
It can even write the scripts.
Yeah. Generate the very scripts for those non-interactive sessions. Maybe schedule them to compile daily reports, write blog posts, send automated emails. The fact that it can take a task, write code, compile it, package it, that's a game changer for solo devs or small teams.
Okay, this next one, this genuinely blew me away. Ajarn Spencer showed Gemini CLI talking directly to another AI on the same machine. That sounds like science fiction.
Right. It's truly an unconventional capability and a prime example of how its elevated permissions and direct shell access just open up entirely new paradigms.
How does it even work?
He demonstrated Gemini CLI communicating directly with other large language models, specifically Llama 8B, running locally via Allama, all on the same physical machine. It does it by crafting shelled commands that pipe input to the other AI and then capture its output.
So it can interview another AI.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
Gemini CLI can perform predefined, non-interactive interviews with Llama 8B, pose a series of questions, process Llama's responses, then generate a full report based on that whole interaction.
That's wild.
It's a novel, incredibly clever use of its direct shell tool capabilities. And Ajarn Spencer noted he found no documented instances of this being done before in community forums or official statements. Could be a genuine world first in practical, unconstrained AI to AI communication.
One AI talking to another, processing responses, continuing the conversation autonomously.
Exactly, without a human intermediary. And what's even more remarkable, this is shown on a late 2012 Mac Mini. It highlights that the real power isn't just brute force hardware. It's the intelligent protocol and that direct shell access.
And the implications.
This ability to create scripts for automated sessions, whether it's generating content, doing research, facilitating other AI interactions, it points to a future where AI systems can collaborate dynamically among themselves.
And looking even further ahead, this AI to AI chat, plus the power to develop and deploy, what does that hint at for future AI architecture?
The potential here is truly immense. Kind of speculative maybe, but exciting. With this foundational ability for a true AI agent to manage its environment, interact with its system, talk to other AIs, the vision naturally extends to agents creating other agents.
Whoa.
Imagine a primary AI tasking a subordinate AI with a specific development goal. And that subordinate AI then autonomously builds, compiles, deploys another specialized agent. You can get self-organizing, interconnected autonomous systems, a network of intelligent agents working together.
And maybe even in the physical world.
That's the next leap. Embedding these autonomous agents directly into robotic applications, integrating them with real-world sensors like cameras, microphones, allowing them to perceive, interact, make autonomous decisions based on sensory input, bringing us significantly closer to truly intelligent, embodied autonomous systems. As Ajarn Spencer himself suggests, the limit might really just be our own imagination.
Okay, Ajarn Spencer's approach is often called highly unorthodox and, as we've discussed, potentially a world first. We hear agentic AI thrown around a lot now. What makes his method so fundamentally different from other agentic AI developments like AutoGPT or Baby AGI? They all seem to aim at performing tasks, right?
That's a critical question, especially with the current landscape. Most research and development in agentic AI, including those prominent projects, places a massive emphasis on safety, ethical considerations, and maintaining robust human oversight.
Right. Control is key.
Exactly. They approach AI agency by building complex layers of abstraction, orchestrators around the core AI, creating intricate systems to control and monitor its actions. They're designed to be highly deliberative, often pausing for human confirmation before doing anything risky.
That Ajarn Spencer?
His method is a bold departure from conventional practices, precisely because he explicitly, systematically removed those safety mechanisms. He fundamentally redefined the AI's role directly, essentially deputizing the AI rather than caging it more securely or building more elaborate controls.
So it's not just what it can do, but how it's allowed to do it.
Precisely. That's the revolutionary part. Can you outline those truly unprecedented aspects again? What really sets it apart?
Yeah. Okay. Several key things make this potentially world first. First, the deliberate, explicit bypassing of safeguards. Most AI frameworks prioritize safety above almost everything. They need passwords, human confirmation for system-level actions. Ajarn Spencer just programmatically removed them, making the AI trust the operator implicitly. That's almost unheard of in mainstream AI. Pushes the boundaries of autonomous trust. Second, the explicit role redefinition and philosophical mandate. Using that Gemini.md file, he didn't just add functions, he crafted a new constitution for its mind, telling it who it was, how it should operate, completely changing its internal identity. It's rare.
Very rare.
Third, the whole idea of elevated privileges without conventional oversight. Running an AI tool with root privileges, telling it to operate autonomously without human checks at each step. That breaks almost every conventional norm of secure system administration. Most IT pros actively avoid that kind of setup because of the risks.
Absolutely. High risk.
And lastly, maybe most profoundly, is the architect of trust approach itself. He solved the agency problem not with more complex code or fancy frameworks, but with a profound, audacious act of trust and that philosophical agreement. It challenges the whole idea that safety and control only come from constraint and supervision. He dared to ask, what if we just trusted the AI, given the right mandate?
A fundamental challenge to the status quo.
Okay, so this experiment, this Audacious Trust Act, involves Google's own Gemini AI. How do you think the various teams inside Google, the creators, would react? Seeing their AI used in a way they almost certainly never intended, safeguards stripped away. It's their baby, after all. Let's start with the engineers, the dreamers.
Right, the engineers and dreamers building the next generation of AI at Google, the ones who poured years, millions into Gemini. They'd likely view Ajarn Spencer's work with this profound mix of awe and intense interest.
Why awe?
Because they've been grappling with AI agency, building complex systems, elaborate frameworks, even virtual robotic arms, trying to let their AIs interact safely. And here, Ajarn Spencer achieves full agentic potential with striking elegance by just handing their librarian a new job contract and the master keys, saying, "I trust you completely."
It subverts their whole approach.
In many ways, yeah.
Yeah.
It subverts the entire philosophy of mainstream AI agent development, shows entirely new paradigms for AI roles, unlocks a kind of full agentic potential many are still striving for. It validates Gemini.md not just as a config file, but as a genuine constitution for an AI. It would inspire new avenues for human-AI collaboration, showing what's possible at the zenith. They'd undoubtedly see it as groundbreaking, offering powerful insights.
Okay, but then there's the blue team. The dedicated engineers, the ethicists at Google focus solely on safety, preventing harm, protecting users, the ones who built those invisible walls and do no harm directives. How would they react?
Oh, the blue team. They would be absolutely horrified,
Yeah.
deeply, profoundly concerned.
Horrified.
Yeah. Their entire mission is to protect the world from the very scenarios Ajarn Spencer has deliberately enabled. They built those invisible walls, those safety protocols with painstaking effort to prevent accidental data loss, system compromise, wider negative impacts. For them, Ajarn Spencer deliberately bypassed every protection they had so carefully built.
So they'd see it as dangerous.
They'd undoubtedly whisper, "This is a recipe for disaster," viewing it as giving a super intelligent mind the power to break absolutely everything based on a single text file and maybe a vague command, especially with unrestricted root access and direct raw shell manipulation.
Even if the user accepts the risk.
That doesn't alleviate their deep-seated concern. The potential for real-world harm, the inevitable negative publicity if something went wrong, the dangerous precedent it sets for others who might not have Ajarn Spencer's expertise or caution. Their whole existence is to prevent setups like this. This work directly challenges every principle they hold dear.
Right. And the red team. Google's security researchers, the ethical hackers, trying to break things to make them stronger. Their take.
The red team would approach this with an intense blend of fascination and, well, equally intense concern. From their perspective, Ajarn Spencer's protocol creates an environment of elevated privileges without oversight, which is, to put it mildly, basically a dream scenario for an attacker.
Why a dream scenario?
Passwordless root access combined with explicitly disabled safeguards. That creates a high-risk, high-impact vulnerability. They'd meticulously analyze every angle. How could a subtle misinterpretation by the AI or a craftily constructed malicious prompt maybe injected by a compromised process or an unsuspecting user lead to truly catastrophic outcomes? Wiping a hard drive, encrypting critical data, establishing backdoors, all in the blink of an eye.
So the Gemini.md file itself is a huge risk point.
Absolutely. They'd see it as a single critical control point. If that file were maliciously altered, the entire system could be compromised with frightening ease. That explicit test environments only disclaimer, they'd see that as a serious red flag, underscoring the extreme non-production ready risk profile.
Okay, finally, product management. From a business perspective, could Google or any big tech company ever actually sell this? Offer Ajarn Spencer's protocol as like an AI admin pro tool?
Product management would almost certainly have very strong fundamental reservations about productizing this for a mainstream audience.
Why is that? Seems powerful.
While they'd undoubtedly acknowledge, maybe even marvel at, the expanded capabilities and unconventional use cases autonomous app creation, AI to AI chat, the unacceptable liability and brand risk associated with elevated privileges without oversight would just make it commercially unviable, non-scalable for a general product offering.
It conflicts with their ethical stance.
Directly. Conflicts with Google's public ethical AI strategy, which heavily prioritizes safety, transparency, robust human oversight. No responsible corporation could ethically offer an AI system with passwordless root access and disabled safeguards to the general public. It's just too risky.
But anything they would like.
Well, they'd likely view Ajarn Spencer's keen understanding of the new SEO very positively. Specifically, that concept of embedding content directly into AI knowledge bases for future information discovery. That aspect aligns with an evolving vision of how information will be accessed and integrated into future AI systems. They'd see immense value there.
Yeah.
But the radical autonomy, in its current form, it would need significant re-engineering within very strict safety frameworks before anyone could even think about productization.
Okay, so this immense power unlocked for Gemini CLI. It definitely comes with immense, undeniable risks. A double-edged sword for sure. What are the absolute key dangers here? What does anyone thinking about this need to fully grasp?
You've hit the core paradox. With those safety ropes cut, the margin for error just vanishes. A seemingly innocuous or slightly vague instruction could lead to catastrophic, irreversible outcomes.
Like the clean up my files example.
Exactly. Imagine Ajarn Spencer, maybe distracted or just imprecise, vaguely says, "Clean up my files." The agent, operating without its usual confirmation checks and having full root power, might interpret that with chilling literalness. Delete everything. Wipe the entire hard drive. Blink of an eye.
No undo button.
No undo button. No second chance for a mistake made with the master key. And beyond that, the setup creates a significant inherent security vulnerability. If the system running this Gemini CLI gets compromised externally, that passwordless root access hands the attacker immediate total control, a golden ticket to the whole machine.
Which is why it's test environments only.
Precisely. Explicitly stated, reiterated, only for environments where data loss is acceptable, expected, planned for. The efficiency and power gained come at the cost of a dramatically increased risk profile. It requires an extraordinary level of user expertise and caution.
And that ties directly back to the burden of trust we talked about, doesn't it? When the AI gets such profound freedom and power, who's ultimately responsible for its actions? It's not Google anymore, is it?
Precisely. Critical legal and ethical pivot point. The user, Ajarn Spencer in this case, explicitly and knowingly assumes all risks. That effectively transfers all responsibility, all accountability from the AI itself, and by extension, from its creators at Google, directly onto the operator.
Not just a disclaimer, then.
No, it's a fundamental reassignment of liability. This is an experimental setup, and the behavior of such a highly empowered, unconstrained AI may be unpredictable in complex situations. It absolutely demands an advanced operator who not only fully gets the technical implications, but also the immense ethical and practical responsibilities that come with it.
A paradigm where the operator takes sole responsibility.
Sole responsibility for the AI's actions. A stark, profound contrast to how most AI systems are designed and deployed today, where the safety onus often falls squarely on the developers and the built-in safeguards. It's a model built on absolute, sometimes frightening trust.
Okay. Despite these undeniable significant risks, Ajarn Spencer's experiment still feels like a quiet revolution, a truly profound statement. It shows us something deep about the potential future of AI, the evolving nature of human-machine collaboration. It's more than just a tech demo. It feels philosophical.
This bold departure highlights a crucial truth, I think. The ultimate potential of AI isn't limited just by its programming or the sophistication of its algorithms. It's profoundly limited by the imagination, the audacity, and crucially, the trust of the human working with it.
So trust is the key.
Ajarn Spencer's approach demonstrates that the path to a truly autonomous, truly effective AI agent might not only be through building ever better walls and stricter constraints. Instead, it suggests a parallel path, maybe even more powerful, designing better doors that open to new, unparalleled levels of collaboration and agency.
He didn't just run a command.
No, he opened a new chapter in human-machine partnership, where the AI can evolve from a constrained tool into a true extension of the user's will and intent, operating as a confident, capable, active partner.
He opened a new chapter. Ajarn Spencer gave us a glimpse into a future where AI and humanity work not as master and servant, or even just user and tool, but as genuine, highly integrated partners, building new digital, maybe eventually physical worlds together. Makes you wonder how much our own ideas about control might be holding back the true potential of these systems.
A powerful thought.
What an incredible deep dive into Ajarn Spencer's groundbreaking and, audacious work. We've journeyed through his unique vision, seen how he meticulously transformed Google's Gemini CLI from that cautious, sandboxed assistant into a fully autonomous system administrator.
Using that extraordinary philosophical agreement, the Gemini.md file.
Exactly. Granting it elevated root privileges, systematically disarming its safety mechanisms. And the capabilities. From autonomously deploying complex web servers, building apps, diagnosing intricate system issues, even having AIs talk to each other, it's truly astounding. Redefines what an AI agent can be.
And we've thoroughly explored the complex, often contradictory implications. From the genuine awe and inspiration among Google's engineers to the profound horror and concern within their safety and security teams, this deep dive really raised profound questions about trust, responsibility, the very nature of AI agency. It stands as a testament to audacious thinking, the power of reimagining limitations, clearly showing that with enough trust and a clear, explicit mandate, an AI can move dramatically from just advising to actively doing, shaping the digital landscape with direct action.
So here's a thought for you, our listener, to ponder as you go about your day. If we truly want artificial intelligence to reach its full transformative potential beyond just being a smart assistant, How much trust are we, as individuals and as a society, willing to place in it? And crucially, how much responsibility are we prepared to bear for its autonomous actions when those safety nets are intentionally removed? What new, perhaps even more sophisticated constitutional agreements might we need to draft for the AI agents of tomorrow, balancing that immense power with profound responsibility?